this is where I went down and went to the mayor's office and to see if I could get an appointment. I've tried it once already and didn't work out too well, did it, guys? But let's see. Reason I went down there today is because Kingsport Police Department is at it again. They just so luckily for them, they falsely arrested my cousin. Falsely arrested my cousin. Mistaken identity. I'm not going to release his name and everything right now, but for public safety, this one's for you, buddy. Does this sound familiar? His last name is spelled differently than the other guys, and that's what got him arrested. That's what got them to come to his house 11, 12 o'clock Sunday morning when church was releasing and all the church members were going by his house. Sad part is, he's a local school teacher and coach. So you know what that's going to probably do. Whether, when he proves or he shows where he's been falsely arrested, it's not going to make a difference. There's still going to be some people out there that are going to be, oh, he was getting arrested and this, so you know how that goes. Kingsport Police Department. Start coming clean, guys. Y'all better start producing those records for me. I've already put in for them. They just don't disappear. What happened? The man was booked in jail. Was there almost all day completely. Got out later that night. Where's those records? I put in for them. What happened to them? So let's see if the city attorney has an answer. Let's see if the mayor has an answer. Because I called Kingsport, couldn't get a hold of the chief, and the second tier echelon told me to call or go to the city attorneys. So that's what I did. Here's what happened, folks. Till I see you again next time. Keep them straight. Hello. Is this the city attorney's office?
Uh-huh.
Do you know if he's available?
Let me get his paralegal. I don't think he's here right now.
Okay. How are you doing today?
Good, how about you?
I'm enjoying a nice day. Trying to, anyway. Okay, thank you so much. Hello. Yeah, I had some question I wanted to ask the city attorney. I actually was sent here.
Okay.
I was trying to pull some public records from the police department, some police reports that they say don't exist.
Okay.
So they sent me to come here to talk to you for some reason, or you guys.
Okay. With public records, they have to go through the request of Angie Marshall. She's our deputy city reporter.
She's just saying that they're both saying that the records don't exist, that they're not there.
Okay.
And in fact, I know there was. It's an arrest report, arrest record. A man was put in jail, and they're saying the records really don't exist.
Okay.
There's got to be some kind of report, booking, general info.
I don't know how they do their records, so I wouldn't know. Angie would probably have a little bit more information on how that works than I would. As far as this office, we would just be sending you straight back down to Angie because she handles all public records.
Well, see, here's the
information.
problem is they're just saying they don't exist. I know how to get them. I pulled plenty of public records. I mean, I know how to do that with her as well. I mean, we've communicated several times. They're just saying they don't exist.
Okay. And the only thing I can tell you is if they're saying they don't exist, then I don't know how to.
Well, see, that's my question. They sent me to you because they're saying since they don't exist, I don't know why they're sending me to the legal department. They couldn't answer that, but I mean, I know it happened. A man got arrested, and what the issue is they arrested a man for mistaken identity. They confused him with another person. Okay. So then they arrested him, and he got out, and they figured out it was wrong. Sorry, the names were misspelled. Okay. So they arrested him, and
Sure.
Unlawfully, and they're saying none of those records exist of his arrest.
Okay.
And I know he did. It's my cousin, so I know for a fact he got arrested. Okay. And they've already called and apologized for arresting him mistakenly.
When was the arrest?
In February.
Okay. Let me get a sheet of paper. Hold on for 1 second.
Sure.
Pockets on these things. Well, Bart is not back in yet. He had a meeting after lunch.
Oh, that's fine. No, I didn't expect to see him. I know he's a busy man, so I get it.
I don't know when he'll be back, but if you'll give me your name and phone number, I will go over this with him. And I can't guarantee you that he will call you back, so it might be me that will call you back.
It doesn't matter. I mean, as long as I get a turn at the call, that's fine.
And my answer may be, now these records don't exist.
Yeah.
And because that may be what I'm told as well. So
can you see the conundrum though? I mean,
I can definitely see it, but I can't guarantee you that I can produce anything that you're asking for.
Sure.
All right, what's your name?
Josh Gibbons, Gibbons.
Okay. And your phone number?
It's 42. Yeah, I tried to get hold of the chief. Chief won't call me back. Tried to get hold of the mayor. Mayor won't have a meeting with me. I got like a second tier person at the police department, and they said the records don't exist. I was like, I know that because I've already talked to Angie Marshall. She told me, it just didn't. They're not where there to be found.
Okay, what's your cousin?
I'm pretty sure because if you go and look, the person that they actually arrested in February.
And you said he was arrested in February of this year?
Yes, ma'am. On Rock Springs Road.
Okay.
I'm not quite positive the exact address, but it's on Rock Springs.
So they didn't get him at his house. They got him at a traffic stop?
No, they pulled him out of his house Sunday morning right as church was letting out. So we had all the churchgoers going by watching him getting cuffed. And the sad part is he's a teacher and an athletic coach at one of the schools. I mean, that's no bueno, man, for him. People saw him getting arrested falsely, so they're going to jump to their own conclusions.
Well, I mean, that can be said about anything because people are going to jump to their conclusions. If you're wearing purple pants and a pink top, they're going to think something that's not right.
Well,
I
that's
see your point,
true,
but I'm just saying.
They should have never been cuffing him in his front yard in the first place.
Well, I mean, I'm not making excuses.
I know, but that's not cool, though.
Okay, so just to recap what I'm going to do is I'm going to talk to Bart.
Sure.
Go over this with him.
Sure.
And either he or I will call you back.
Be great.
I cannot guarantee you any information other than what you've already gotten.
I understand that.
And so I'll try to follow this through.
But if anything, if he could answer the question, what do you do now? Because there's got to be a record. It can't just disappear. And if it did disappear, then that's very no bueno. I mean, he knows that's big time felonies.
Okay. So now, even if my information is, like I said, nothing's changed, I will call, one of us will call you back. Sure. If I can find out anything different, of course, then that's going to be a different conversation that we'll have.
But if you just call Angie and she just goes look them up, you're going to get the same answer because they're not in the system no more. Okay. But I mean, he had to be booked. He had to be bonded out. I mean, he was there all day. He was. There's got to be a record somewhere.
Well, and I'm not disagreeing with you. Yeah, I'm telling you that
I'm just trying to
produce something. If they're telling me that
I know. I'm just trying to explain the case more. You know what I'm saying? I mean, records just don't disappear, or they're not supposed to.
They're not supposed to, but
and that's what I'm here to check to see what happened to those records.
Well. And I can't answer for anybody, but what I can do, and I will see what I can do.
And I don't know if we've never met. My name is Josh, and I run a YouTube channel called Big G Audits. And I'm a first and second in the constitutional auditor, and I'm what's going to be in this area. Okay. So you'll probably see me more. Okay. So fine, I mean, and I'm just letting you know.
And just so you know, our office we don't, we don't comment on anything ordinarily.
Oh, I know.
What we do is
I understand. But I was directed towards you by the police department.
If you ask me a question, I'll do my best to find you an answer, even if it's the same answer as what you've got.
And that's all I
Okay.
can ask for is you
All
just to do what you can.
Okay.
Thank you so
You're
much.
quite
You all
welcome.
have a blessed day.
You too. Thank you.
Well, let's see if she can find something out. Is the mayor in?
He is, but he's in a
busy.
meeting.
Is there any way I could maybe set an appointment or something?
Yeah,
Some
go
contact?
ahead.
Sure.
Well, what he likes to do is he really likes to call people right away instead of waiting on an appointment time.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Is that acceptable for
That's
you?
perfectly
Let me
fine.
grab this with mine.
Sure. You go do what you need to.
City of Kingsport, may I help you? Hello. Yes, he doesn't have anything else. So, oh, wait a minute, I'm on the wrong calendar. I've got too many open, hold on. Way too many open here. Oh, I know. Okay, you can, he has a meeting, nothing else until 11 and it's here in the office, so yes. Now, shouldn't he already have the one for 9 o'clock? Yeah, he already has one for 9. Yes. So 10, at 10, there you go. That works. Okay. All right, you're welcome, Elaine. All right, bye-bye. I'm sorry about that.
No, you're fine. You got a job to do, huh?
Okay, well, I know, but you're part of my job.
Hey, that's all right. I'm a very patient man.
All right, so we need to talk to the mayor.
Yes,
And
ma'am.
your name, sir?
Josh Gibbons, Gibbons. You're fine.
Oh, that,
Hey, can you go right? No, go right ahead.
Dara? Hey. Yes, but go ahead. Oh, okay. I can, give me just a minute. I am sorry, I had a doctor's appointment.
No, honey, you don't have to excuse yourself, honey. You all right?
More information.
You're a busy lady.
It won't take but a second.
Hey, you're fine, honey. You're fine. There's X.
She wanted money.
What doctor don't?
Okay, let me go back. Josh, tell me the last name again.
Gibbons, Gibbons.
And what is it regarding?
Some public records requests I made that they're not being able to find for some reason.
Oh,
I'm just wondering because they should be there, and I don't know why they can't find them. So
well, I'm not sure either. All right, 42.
myself, yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Let me see what I can find. I'm assuming you already talked to Angie Marshall?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right.
It's not that it's just like they don't exist. It's not that she's not fine, can't find them or whatever. It's just they're saying they don't exist for some reason. So, and it should. It's a record. It should be there.
Okay. I don't know. Let me see what I can find out, but I'll let the mayor know that you stopped by.
Sure. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
You have a blessed day
All
now.
right, you too.
Well, guys and gals, we'll see. Will the mayor return my call? Will the lawyer return my call? We'll see. Till next time.
City of Kingsport, this is Bart Rowlett.
Hi, yes, this is Josh Gibbons. I was returning your call.
Yes, Mr. Gibbons, I was afraid you didn't get my number. The message cut off, I think, before I finished.
Yeah,
so
barely caught it. I barely got it.
I understand you were trying to get some records.
Yeah, I was, what the situation is a relative of mine was mistaken for another person, and they came and arrested him falsely. And I tried to put in for the public record for the arrest, any affidavits, booking information, all that stuff, and they're saying it doesn't exist, that there's no record of him being arrested.
Okay.
And I mean, Kingsport PD has already called and apologized for the arrest. They know what they did, but where's the record of it?
Well, if you've submitted a records request to Angie Marshall and they've checked and they don't have records, we don't have anything to provide.
Well, can you see my conundrum though? I mean, the man went to jail. Where's the record of him being booked in jail and stuff? How does a man go to jail, whether it's falsely or not, or correct or not, and then that information disappear?
Well, I mean, if we don't have a record, we don't have a record.
Can you see the problem with that, though? I mean, there should be a record, right?
Well, not if it was destroyed or.
That's kind of my point. That's what I'm trying to find out. I mean, there should be a record. The man was arrested, whether it was correctly or not. I mean, there should be a record there, and they're telling me there's not one. Can you see the problem?
Well, there's various periods for which records are kept.
This was February of this year.
And not all records are permanent records. And
oh, come on now, sir. You going to tell me the arrest record from February has already been deleted?
if that is what has been reported to you, then yes.
I mean, nobody's reported. They're saying the record don't exist. They're not saying they delete it. They just say it don't exist, is all I'm getting told. It should be, and you should know that an arrest record wouldn't have been deleted that quickly. That would be in there for years, if not permanently. Should be. Right?
Not all government records are permanent records, and there are periods of time in which records.
So arrest records are deleted after a certain amount of time?
Do what?
Arrest records are deleted after a certain amount of time?
If we don't have one, then and one was created, then it would have been deleted. Otherwise, we would produce it.
Oh, I know, but that's my whole point. I'm not doubting that you wouldn't give me the record. My whole thing is, why isn't there a record? There should be, and you know fair well, there should be an arrest record from February still in existence. He wouldn't have been able to even go to court yet.
I don't know about that. All I can tell you is if we've said we don't have a record, then we don't have a record, because otherwise we would have produced it.
Okay, well, they sent me to you, so, I mean, what's the next step then? What should I do to find out what happened to the record?
Well, that's all I can offer you. Is have the record because we would have otherwise produced it.
I'm not doubting that the record's not there, sir. That's not the problem. I'm just asking, why isn't there a record? You know that there should be an arrest record there, a booking information, something should still be there from just a couple of months ago. I mean, Kingsport already arrested him falsely and wrongly, and now the records are not there? Can you not see how this is kind of suspicious, at the least? I mean, they've already called and apologized to the man for what they did.
Well, I mean, I don't have any information one way or the other about them calling, apologizing, or other than to say that if we've responded that we don't have the records, we don't have the record.
Well, what should you suggest that I do now, then, to try and pursue this further, to figure out what happened?
Well, I don't have any other guidance for you. If you've submitted a records request, and I mean, we do.
So let me ask.
With the,
So let me ask you a question. So does that mean that a police department can just delete records and not have any kind of responsibility or way of checking to see what happened, or any repercussions, or any checks and balances?
just as a general matter, not all public records are permanent, and there are.
Sir, come on, please, sir. You know good and well that an arrest record should still be there. It's not a public record like a day on a calendar or a community meeting calendar. It's none of that. It's an arrest record, sir. You know full well that it wouldn't have been erased unless somebody did it intentionally.
All I can tell you is if we've said that we don't have the record, then we don't have the record.
Well, then who do I need to speak to now then to pursue this further to find out what happened? Because the man was arrested. There's something, he was arrested. That's a fact. He was not the person they were trying to look for because they screwed up on the spelling of his last name, and they arrested a man who is an upstanding member of this community. He's a teacher and a coach at a local school. And he was arrested in front of churchgoers that are near him in his neighborhood. It's not fair to him. And now you're telling me there's no record and there's no way to even find out what happened?
Well, again, I don't have any independent knowledge of what happened. If a records request has been submitted and we've said that...
Well, then what's my next step, sir? What should I do next then? Who should I talk to next to find out what happened? The chief of police won't return my call or talk to me. Neither will the mayor.
Well, I don't coordinate their schedules. I will say that public records requests are handled by Angie Marshall, who's the city clerk.
And
a lot of regarding records are directed to her.
I know, sir. I have received several records from her. I'm not doubting her and her job. I have a very established relationship with her already, receiving several records. It's not a matter of getting them or how to get them or a matter of her giving them, sir. It's a matter that the record seems to not be there that it should. That's the problem. Do you not see the legality of what I'm saying?
Well,
the man was arrested and they're saying there's no record of it. You just can't destroy a record of arresting somebody, especially when you falsely have done it. Do you not see the ramifications of what I'm saying?
I hear you saying that all public records should be permanent.
No, that's not what I'm saying, sir. You are making assumptions. You know full well an arrest record is something that would be permanently on a man's record, so that it would be there somewhere permanently, unless they're a child. So you cannot tell me that an arrest record from just a couple of months ago would have been just routinely deleted. Are you trying to insult my intelligence that much, sir?
No, sir.
Well, this is not my first rodeo. This is not the first police department I've had to work with. I'm a constitutional activist who happened to have his cousin get falsely arrested.
Well, I'm not trying to insult your intelligence. I don't.
Well, I mean, so what are you trying to say then?
Take against you did that.
I'm sorry?
I said I don't have any reason to insult your intelligence. That doesn't.
Well, you're trying to get me to assume that an arrest record from February would have been just routinely deleted, sir. That's what you're trying to say. Is it not?
I'm saying if you've submitted a records request and we have responded that we don't have the record, then we don't have the record.
I know.
As you said,
that's the
the
problem.
records request-
That's the problem, sir. Do you not see the problem? There should be a record there, and you all don't have it. Hence the conundrum, do you see? How does a record just disappear or just not be made in the first place? The man was arrested, flat out. I've been in that jail. I know what the routine is. There's no way he could have went there without some kind of record being made. His fingerprints being made, his photo being made, all that stuff, sir. And you know good and full well it wasn't just deleted from a routine process from February. He wouldn't even have had time to have been arraigned and went to have his trial yet, sir. Even if he had been arrested legally.
I can't speak to that one way or the other.
Well, I can because I've been through this judicial system around here. I know about approximately how long it takes you to get to a case, and it's at least a few months.
All I can offer you is again, if we've checked, if we had a record, we would produce it.
Okay.
I mean, as you said, you've submitted them in the past and we've responded.
And I'm not denying that, sir. You're going in circles. I'm not denying if the record was there that you would give it to me. I'm not saying that. I'm just asking you, sir, what is the ramifications of a record that should be there that doesn't exist? And if it did, why is it gone? Because it should still be there. And where should I go next to check why the record is not there or why it was there and it got deleted?
No, I don't have any.
Because you know that if this goes into litigation, you will be the one that have to answer for those records, right? Because you'll be the one representing the city if he takes it that far. You understand that, don't you?
Well, not necessarily. We have a third-party administrator that handles our claims. They assign whatever counsel they deem is.
Well, okay. Well, then that makes it okay.
I'm not. I just. You said I would be representing them as just trying to share information.
Well, sir, you're just trying to be to the literal, and you're trying to just gaslight me on this, sir. There has to be a record somewhere, and if there's not, then there should have been, and somebody needs to be answered and held accountable for it, and there needs to be transparency. The man was illegally arrested. He's been shamed in front of his community, and he's an upstanding member of the community. And it's not right for him and for you all to not produce the records when asked it's insulting. And if they're not there, that's even more insulting. Because that means something in the Kingsport Police Department is not going right. Something was not done right, or something was done that shouldn't have been done. Agreed? Because you full well know there should... So you're telling me that there should not be an existence of an arrest record from February. Is that what you're telling me?
All I can tell you is what I know, which is if you've submitted a record request and we said we don't have records...
Well, how about you do me a favor then? Can you call the chief and ask him? Because he won't return my calls, or I can't get into him. He's always seems to be busy. He might return your call.
Well, I can check with
Because I'm not trying to sound like I'm being an asshole. I'm really not, sir. And it's nothing against you, but you should know there should be an arrest record from February. Seriously, that just doesn't go away. It just doesn't get routinely deleted. The man was arrested by mistaken identity, and Kingsport knows it, and they know they fucked up. It's that plain and simple. I'm sorry to be so blunt. But there needs to be a record there, and if there isn't, then that's a big, that's no bueno. That's even worse if there wasn't a record created, and even worse if there wasn't, it was gone now. Because that's just deleting the evidence of them breaking his civil rights. Would we agree on that? Would we at least agree that there should be a record of an arrest in February?
Not necessarily.
Okay.
Again,
Then can you do me this favor and go and get with the chief and tell me what the deleting process and the procedure is for that would have deleted the record from February? Could you at least do me that then? Because the Kingsport police will not do anything with me. They will not work with me at all.
I will double check. If I'm not mistaken, the board has adopted the MTAS records retention policy, and I can confirm and check on that. And there are other provisions in state law that address with.
Well, I know what the state law is, and the state law is that record should still be there, sir, from February. I'm full aware of the state laws on records for arrests and stuff. So I know that record should be there, whether you want to admit it to yourself right now or not. That record should be there. There should be several records there. So could you at least check in and check with the chief and see what's going on? Because obviously they've not even made you aware of this situation. Which they probably should have by now.
Well, no, let me back up. I've not talked to the police about this, but Amy had told me about it, and I think Miss Marshall had even mentioned to me that you had done the request and that there were no records.
Well, then, did you not get at least the curiosity of why the records don't exist anymore? They should be there?
No.
Oh, come on, sir. Oh, okay. Have you ever worked in criminal defense?
In a past life, I was appointed to a few criminal cases. Yes,
Okay. So then, sir, you know fair well that record should be there. Come on now. Don't insult my intelligence again, sir. You know full well an arrest record from February would still be there. You know arrest records on people's records don't go away. For years and years and years. I can look up every traffic citation I've had since I was 16, sir. And you are full aware of that.
That's not necessarily the case.
Okay.
Yeah, well, as an example, I had a few clients that they availed themselves of pretrial diversion, and pretrial diversion comes with the expungement of record.
Yes, it does. But this has not even been the trial, sir.
So, but to that point, you're saying that all.
I will give you that, sir. I will give you the diversion. I will give you that. But you full know well that it's not even would have made it to trial yet. That the record would exist. Even his booking stuff would still be there, regardless of the aversion.
I don't know about that.
The bond information would still be there. You could still look up the bond that he got.
Again, past life, it's been a while since I've handled a criminal case, but
Well, I mean,
don't know the situation with where this gentleman's criminal proceedings are currently, but...
Well, I can tell you, sir, there is none because they falsely arrested him. They're not prosecuting him because they know they fucked up. They called and said, "Oh, we're sorry. We did wrong. We arrested you mistakenly for someone else." He's not in jail. He doesn't have to go to court because there was never a court date set. Can you see the problem? I don't understand why you're not seeing the issue here. There should be some records there, and you fair well know that, sir. You cannot tell me that an arrest record from February would be gone by now, especially when it's not even went to trial or anything. To have any kind of limitations or diversion or anything put on it.
All I can tell you is if you've requested a record and we said we don't have them, we don't have them, otherwise we would produce them.
I know that, sir. I never said you wouldn't. The problem is they're not there. That's the point.
But you had also made the statement, or I took what you were saying is anything having to do with an arrest or prosecution is always there. It's a permanent record.
You're gaslighting, sir. You're gaslighting. Get back to the point. The point is this arrest record from February should be there, and you fair well know it.
Mr. Gibbons, I do not know that.
Okay. Well, then call the chief and ask him then, if you would, please. And let him see if he tells you that it shouldn't be there. And see what his reason why it's not there. Because he won't tell me. Nobody will. That's the problem. Do you not see? Nobody's wanting to tell me where the record's at. And there should be one. And why there isn't one. And if they deleted it. And if they deleted the record, there should be a record of them deleting it. Do you not understand that too? It just doesn't completely disappear. I mean, I don't know what else to do, sir. You know, I don't know where else to go. And I was pointed towards you, so.
Well, I've presented to you all I have to offer. I don't have anything else that I can tell you.
Okay. So just, who cares? Just let it go. Don't worry about trying to do checks and balances and doing your job to check on the other parts of the government. Just hope they're doing their job and telling the truth. Is that what you're saying, sir? Don't worry about trying to check in on it for me or anything. Don't look into it. Just take to everybody for their word.
Well, I told you that I would call the chief of police.
Okay. Well, you just said you just didn't know what else to tell me or to do for me, so I didn't know if you were still willing to do that. And I'm not trying to be terse. I'm really not. I mean, but this is just upsetting. The man was embarrassed publicly. And the people are just denying it even happened. You know what I'm saying? It's just not right, sir. It's not the way this country's supposed to work. Agreed?
Mr. Gibbons, I've said all I can say to you about the matter.
Okay. So I guess people getting falsely arrested is okay? Is that what you're saying? And just to let it go, not to check in on stuff?
Never said that.
Well, if you could get a call into the chief, I would really appreciate that, sir, because they won't talk to me about it. I just get gaslighted, just like I do when I try to talk to the mayor. I've tried to get hold of him like 4 times in the last 6 or 8 months, and I don't even get a return call. Tried to get a hold of him again today, and of course he's always in a meeting. I don't know who else to talk to. I mean, who else would be able to check in on the police? whose job is it to make sure they're in check, sir? Whose job is it in the city to keep check on the police force, sir?
Well, the police administration monitors the department.
Yeah, but I'm telling you, I'm just want to say, who checks the chief? Because the chief knows about it, and he won't comment about it. So, who puts him in check?
Well, and our police force, you also have accrediting agencies that review policies.
Well, if you know how that goes, sir, they won't even check in on most of the claims, sir. And they come and they do the accreditation. They don't go off of complaints. I've tried that process with Sullivan County. Isn't it the job of the city manager and the mayor to put the police chief and the department in the check and to keep sure that it's in check, sir?
Well, the city manager does, per the charter, supervise all the departments of the city, which includes the police department.
Right. He's the only one I've not tried to get a meeting with. So I've give him the benefit of the doubt of whether he would speak to me on this matter. But I've tried the police chief, I've tried the mayor several times, and then they sent me to you. So that's why I'm here. They put me off on you.
That's fine. Well, no, I mean, you had a question, they sent you to me. I'm happy to, I can't always guarantee people I can solve the problem or.
And like I said, I don't mean to be so terse, but it's just upsetting. I mean, the man was embarrassed. They did a body cavity search on him, sir, and if you've ever had one, it's rape. It really is. And he shouldn't have been there. And now they're just trying to act like it didn't happen and it doesn't exist, sir. You see what I'm saying? And it's my cousin. And that more so pisses me off. And since I'm an activist, it's my job to try and put the government and make sure they're in check, sir. So what I'm trying to do. And you need to look into it, sir, because there should be a record. And I hope that your conscience lets you realize that this man's name needs to be cleared. And if there is no records or something happened to those records, it's going to be impossible to do that. I hope you can understand where I'm coming from, sir.
As I've said, I've told you all that I really know about the situation, or all I can tell you. I'm happy to follow up with the chief.
Right.
In terms of why you were directed to my office.
Well, what if it would have been your cousin? Would you have looked into it really good? Well, I mean, what if it happened to your cousin? It could. It very well could. I mean, this man has never been arrested in his entire life. But because of a clerical error in the KPD, he spent a day in jail and was cavity searched. I mean, sir, come on. I plead to your conscience and your good person.
Oh, you're a poor judge of character. You think I'm a good person?
Sir, I know you are. I'm least glad I'm glad you can joke, because that tells me that you're not pissed off at me. Okay?
No.
And I do trust you're a good person, sir. I mean, from just talking to you right now, I can tell you are a good person. But you're doing what you're supposed to do. And sometimes you need to go around what you're supposed to do and what you really need to do and what's right. And you really need to look into this, sir, for me. I really would appreciate it, because this man has done wrong. And if the police department is let go and they're not put in check, it's going to get gone. And it's going to happen to him, and it's just going to go away. And I'm not going to let that happen if I can do anything about it. And the only way I'm going to do that is if somebody helps me, because everybody's stonewalling me, just like they always do anybody that tries to buck them. And it's the KPD. It's none of you guys. I don't putting it off on the mayor. I'm not putting it off you guys, the city manager, the records lady. She's a sweetheart. It's the KPD that's doing this, sir. And somebody needs to put them in check. It's not right. So if you could do that, I would really appreciate it.
I will.
Just at least ask. Just at least ask and ask some questions. You know what I mean, brother? Just ask some questions. That's all I'm asking. That's all you can do.
I can tell you two things. I will call the chief. I will call you back. Now, I can't guarantee you that I'm going to be able to provide any different information that what I tell you is going to satisfy you, but I'll do those.
And that's exactly what your sorry, I forgot her name. Your paralegal that was there earlier today. That's exactly what she told me, and I said, honey, that's all I'm asking you to do is just to try. That's all you can do. You can't control what they tell you, but somebody needs to ask besides me, because I'm an activist in this area, and I've had a couple run-ins with them, and they don't like me. As a matter of fact, they come and arrested me at 5 o'clock in the morning for speeding, which I've already beat part of the. Anyway, it's a long story. Anyway, Kingsport Police Department doesn't like me, so they're not going to help me if they don't have to. You do understand, sir? And it makes it difficult. And this is not about me. This is about my cousin. You know, he was he taught school at South and was the football coach at South, and then now he's a teacher at the middle school and the coach at the middle school now, sir. You know, his name needs to be untarnished. He didn't do anything wrong. And KPD's just stonewalling me.
Well, like I said, I can tell you I'll do two things. I will call the chief, and I will call you back. Now, beyond that, I can make no guarantee.
And I don't ask you to, brother. I don't ask you to. Like I said, all I wanted you to do was just try and make an effort. Because, like I said, you can't make them do something. You can't make them produce whatever they don't want to produce or whatever. You know, you can't force people to. But I would really appreciate it, and thank you so much if you would just ask, because I'm not getting to. You know what I mean? They're not letting me have the opportunity.
Okay. Well, yeah, I'll do those today. And I will say, you know, and we can disagree on, you know, what we think's going on. If there is a public records request issued, I mean, that is normally sent through Angie. As you pointed out, she's very good at her job, very proficient. So, I don't know, you know, I will speak for the chief and say, if he thought it was a public records request call, why you got directed to Angie. I don't know that to be the case.
No, see, I wasn't directed to Angie from them. I went to Angie first. See, I knew to go to her first. And then when she said it didn't exist, I called the police station then. Tried to get hold of the chief, and then they said the chief was busy. Tried that 2 or 3 days. And then finally I went to a second tier echelon, one of the I don't know if there's a deputy chief or whatever. And then that's the one that said, well, Angie said the record don't exist. I don't know what to tell you. Go ask the lawyer. And that's literally what he said. So that's why I went to you.
Well, and that, you know, that's fine.
Well, see that, I don't understand that too. I don't know why they directed me to you, but honestly, brother, I didn't know what else to do. I don't know where else to go. You know?
No problem. Don't mind you coming here. Don't mind that they directed you to me. They felt like there was a question they couldn't answer, so they sent you to me, and that's fine.
Okay, buddy. I won't waste any more of your time. I know you're probably running over now anyway. Yeah, if you could just do that to me and get a hold of me next few days, I would really appreciate it so much. And like I said, it's none of this is directed towards you. And if it seemed like it did, I apologize. I'll be the first one to apologize. I'm just trying to do the right thing, make sure the right thing's done here. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, we're good. No problem here.
All right, brother. Well, you just do that, and buddy, you try and enjoy the rest of your day, and you have a blessed day now.
All right, you too, Mr. Gibbons.
Yes, sir.
Bye-bye.
We look forward to your call.
All right, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.